you've been involved in the horse racing business for a while. Give me a capsule version of that real quick.
Yeah, I have been. I've loved horse racing, I think, since I was a little kid. I mean, my parents took me to Santa Anita Park near Los Angeles. So I think as a 5 or 6 year old, I was running around the infield and watching the horses. And so I grew up, and by 15 or 16, I said, you know what, if I ever had a shot at owning just a piece of a horse, I said it'd be fun to go in a partnership. And finally I got enough money together. 1991, I bought my first thoroughbred. So I went in with a few guys, bought a piece of a horse, and it got in my blood, and I've been racing horses ever since. So I still have a barn at Santa Anita, and got a couple trainers there that work with me, and I love it. I love it.
So you're involved in entertainment at that point?
Yeah. No, I was involved. Listen, I started making films in high school. I loved it. I started making little short films, and I loved it so much. By the time I graduated from high school, I said, if I can make a living having this much fun, I've got to try that out. So when I was in college, I started making a lot of sports documentaries, a lot of tennis and golf, and a little bit of horse racing. So that was in the 70s and the 80s. I kind of raised enough money to start my feature business and started making some features in the 80s. The first big feature you know of is Dances with Wolves in 1990. And that sort of blew my eyes wide open because I worked a couple of years on it, but had no idea it would become the film that it did. I mean, it felt good, but I had no idea it would resonate with the world like it did. And look, it went on to make a lot of films since then. The Bodyguard and Wyatt Earp, Message in a Bottle, and Mr. Brooks and Swing Vote, and 50 to 1 now, and I mean a lot of movies, 20 between here and there. So made some hits, made some misses, as we all do, but I keep getting up to the plate, you know, and trying to hit another one out of the park, you know.
So before you started on 50 to 1, what was your favorite horse racing movie?
Yeah, you know, I really do respect, I liked Seabiscuit a great deal. I thought that was very well made. I think, though, I have to give it to the Black Stallion. I mean, when I saw that, I was a lot younger and stuff, but I loved the way the Black Stallion was shot, and I loved what character that horse had and whatnot. So I think I was a sucker for the Black Stallion. Not a sucker, I thought it was a really great film. So, yeah, probably the Black Stallion.
So we know the story of Mind That Bird, but personally, deep down, what was it that grabbed you for the?
Yeah, I think. Well, actually, real quickly, 3 things grabbed me because I needed a lot in order to get out of my chair and go make another movie. So, the first thing I saw was the 2009 Kentucky Derby. It absolutely blew me away. It was the best race I'd seen in my life. For whatever reason, it took my breath away. This horse that gets pinched at the gate, thrown back 30 lengths in the mud. You know, Calvin Borel just loping along. He's off the camera on the screen. I said, where is that last place horse? He's not even there. The announcer doesn't give him any mention at that point in time. And he comes, you know, by 18 horses on the last quarter mile and didn't just beat him by a nose, and he blew him away. He won by almost 7 lengths. So visually it was striking. Number 2, I said, I want to get to know these characters better. I want to know who the trainer is, who the owners are, who are the connections of the horse, so to speak. I got to know these guys, and I loved them. I mean, they are absolutely your, I don't know, quintessential New Mexico hard-hitting cowboy. They're drinking tequila. They met in a bar fight, these 2 guys, the trainer and the owner. They got their black hats, their leathers, their Harleys. Couldn't be more different than me, but I thought these are just flawed, beautiful, 4-dimensional characters that I love to sink my teeth into. So as much as Mind That Bird was 50 to 1, I thought these guys were 50 to 1 too. So I love it. You have this horse going off, these guys going off. And then lastly, I think I made this as much for the horse. I really looked at this horse and I said, you know, there was just a race that this horse put in, a phenomenal athlete. I don't think they get the just rewards they should get, and I don't think this horse has either. So I said as much to Bird, I'll make this film for you. So sort of met him down in Roswell, spent some time with him, and I said, you know, you got to make a film for some reason. I said, this is a good one. So every day I kept thinking about Bird. He's a special horse.